Welcome back to the KeSPA Cup, guys, where you learn to expect the unexpected. Pet getting out over Hero into the winner's match. And we're going to jump into True versus TY now to start the second set.
That's right. And in each of our groups, we have one Western representative. And in today's group, this Western representative is, in fact, Korean. And that's true.
Is that true, Wolf?
Yes.
Okie dokie-o.
So, here we have him. I mean, he is, in fact, a Korean player who has been in GSL Code S, has no Star League results, and I think this is his first KeSPA Cup, if I'm not mistaken. But he did win, of course, the regional, the circuit, the last circuit. So he is qualified for BlizzCon. This tournament means nothing for him except seeding and money and pride. He wants to prove to the rest of the Koreans that he is in fact as good, even though he has been living and playing overseas.
Yeah, very true. And of course, TY over here, he hasn't had a championship in Korea or outside, I believe, as well. But he did come very, very close, losing to his teammate Zest in 2016 GSL Season 1. What a series that was. Yeah, it was very close.
He's only been in one Korean finals, but he's been in overseas finals. He's always wanted that title. He's never gotten one before. Here's our map list up. We are going to have Gettysburg, Sejong, and Galactic Process. Again, no Frozen Temple so far yet today, and Process sneaking into two map pools back to back.
Yep, guys, we're going to start game number 1 now between True and TY on New Gettysburg.
뉴 게티즈버그로 떠납니다.
Welcome to New Gettysburg for map number 1 here. Down on the bottom right, the purple Zerg. It is True.
Only favored by Kanata to get out of the group, as far as the 5 casters are thinking. Now to the bottom left in green, his opponent, it is TY. KT rolls to representative. Ada Home Story Cup Finals versus Flash. Home Story Cup, at this point, with how many top-level Koreans are getting invited and how large the prize pool has gotten, et cetera, it really should be considered a major, I would say. I know not everyone agrees, but
there.
It really is basically a major at this point. Now, on this map, obviously, we've seen a lot of aggression from Terrans, especially Beyond likes to do that 2 medevac push. We'll see what it is that TY is up to these days, as kind of the meta is shifting a little bit more towards that Beyond 2 medevac style. Obviously, he's not doing that right here. The true American hero. I have a feeling I know whose sign that is.
I can tell by his starry sweater that it must be our boy Rapid there in the audience, making those signs. The true American hero.
True American hero. I don't know. I think that's Neeb at this point, though, realistically.
Yeah, well.
I mean, by the way, can we just say, I don't think there's ever been a time where a foreign player has dominated a group as heavily in StarCraft 2. I can't think of a single one. Someone's like, well, Jinro beat MC once. I'm like, yeah, but it was hard for him, okay? Neeb looked like he was on another level. Like, we thought Koreans were the best. They're better than foreigners. He didn't look like a foreigner. He looked like a Korean. He looked like a Martian, okay? And he got the seed from the Mars qualifier, okay, and came over here. We don't know where he's from, what he's doing.
He's got like 3 arms. Somehow playing with those 3 arms, we don't know. One of them is invisible. He's like, one of them is invisible, so we don't know that he's playing with 3 arms. That's what happens when you invite a Martian to your tournament, guys.
You never know. He's a shapeshifter. He's probably a machine. This is actually AlphaGo's newest product. They implanted a chip in his brain. They're getting ready for
dude. The big reveal after he wins KeSPA Cup, they're like, actually, guys, it's an AI. And everybody goes nuts.
That's like actually Blizzard's next announcement for BlizzCon. Look at this. This is pretty different. TY is going to go for a fast 3rd CC. This is not something we're seeing almost ever at all in this matchup. Especially not on this map. This is going to throw True up, I'd say. He needs to scout at ASAP, and he is getting very fast Overlord speed, so you will see this soon. But this is definitely not what he's going to be expecting
Yeah, definitely the opposite of Beyond, who wants to get out stim as fast as possible, put on as much pressure as possible. And I think it makes sense for the map. You know, this is one of those maps that players are, you know, they've probably already figured it out, but it becomes this very passive map where you can't really do much to the enemy just because of how long the map is, how long the rush distance is, how long it takes for you to get over to the opponent and actually put on any pressure. And it looks like he's going to also potentially drop here at the same time. The positioning of the CC makes it a little bit hard to scout, but True is going to get a full scout. I assume he saw that.
Yeah, well, if he didn't, he's definitely going to be able to loop back around. I'm sure we'll get a vision check by our observer in just a moment here once the Overlord is cleared. Good micro here by TY. In fact, will kill it. Because he zigzagged too much there, it cost him big time. We'll see the vision confirm. And in fact, he did not see it. But based on that timing on the factory, he may have a good idea. The add-on there, he may have an idea. This is actually really good pressure here. He almost gets the Reaper. Forces a bunker as well. If he got the Reaper, it would have been huge. He's going for the confirm scout just to make sure it's not a second factory, and he will see the CC timing. So good scouting here from True. What this says about what TY thinks about True, I feel, in my personal opinion, is that he thinks that he's going to win in the late game. He thinks he's a better late game player. You know, he's not going to play the meta build. He wants to just force the game to go late game on Gettysburg, and he wants to take that fight. Obviously, we talked about this in the last game. If you fight on the bridge with Ultralisk, you're going to have a big problem because they can't get surface area, they can't get in on top of anything. But if you fight in the top of the map, there's so much room for the Terran to actually micro against the Ultralisk that you're also going to have a bit of a tougher time. So I think that it's a good choice here, and I think TY just thinks he's the better player. He's, results-wise, the more experienced player. The two.
Very true. And
it's huge if he can get a cancel on this.
only now are the links coming out. They do have speed, so they should get over here pretty fast. I think he's just going to do a bit of damage, try to get a good Widowmine hit, and then back off.
Ooh, cancels a Widowmine as well. I think he wants it to hit Queens. Look at that micro. Now it's going to hit a Queen. Does not hit multiple. He's going to try to target that one down, but good micro by True. It will escape.
Widowmine also does remain, so we'll see if True can clean that up here in just a bit. There's a Viking on the way, like literally already out on the map is what I mean, on the way to True's base, trying to find some Overlords. That Cold Viking trying to do a bit of damage. Now even coming up here with these Marines and just trying to find a little bit of damage.
And also, I mean, he's finding all these Overlords. You know, True is getting good vision with these, but he's always pulling back and saving them. So it's kind of cool. You know, in a way, it's risky to have Overlords out there like that. Because if you get all of them sniped, then you're going to lose a lot of supply. It's very expensive. But at the same time, he's absolutely got vision of what he's doing.
Oh, he's going mech, man.
Oh my God,
this is happening.
This. Wow.
And he has a small contingency of Marines here, so it might throw True off, and you might think, oh, you're going Marine tank. Okay, you're TY, you like your tanks.
Yeah.
But he is in fact going mech.
I think he's going to take that island. That first Viking we see clears out the Overlord, so it's tough to scout. The build starts to feel like it's coming together, right? You can really see what TY is trying to accomplish with this. Scans here as well. And yeah, Baneling Nest coming up, Aspire coming up. I don't think that True yet realizes what he's up against. So this is really coming together as to why he went for that fast third CC. He's already built up an incredible SCV count at 60 currently. And a few moments ago, he was ahead in SCVs over True. He has 3 bases for free, and a mech player with 3 bases, 6 gases is always comfortable. Once you get the 4th base, though, you are set. You're going towards max. You can use so many factories. He's also adding Cyclones into the mix here as well, something we very rarely see at all in this matchup. Wow, he's like massing them even, in fact. 2 of them on the way here. We'll probably see the upgrade for them come out as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I think he wants to get Blue Flame first. He does have another tech lab. Maybe just wants to wait. He doesn't really have the gas just yet. As you were saying, would love to get a 4th base up here in just a bit. Probably going to take that island first. Has another CC up here. Could take the other 4th if he clears it out. He's only made 3 tanks, which is funny. You know, generally you want a pretty high tank count with this mech to deal with anything on the ground, but he's also mixing in the Cyclones first. I suppose at this timing, just to make sure that he doesn't die to any kind of muta shenanigans or really any kind of big pressure.
Yeah, really curious to see how many he commits to. The cool thing about this is he knows he's so safe. He keeps scouting every time. He scans, he used the Viking for scouting. Now he's switching to Thor production and Liberators. So it looks like, I think you're right, just the Liberators to hold off any possible Mutalisk attack. He's so safe against anything. He has so much money. He could make a 5th CC this early. This island base is not contested. And if True doesn't scout it soon, it just won't ever be. Now he's just showing a little bit of bio pressure. True got, Baneling speed. He's still completely, I feel, tricked by this build because he's been able to do no scouting whatsoever. For all he knows, there's just a large bio force that's not pressuring him right now back at home. He's probably wondering, like, wow, I thought TY was a stronger player. He'd be hitting me and dropping me. I think he's starting to wonder what's going on. Okay, now he knows. Roachborn's coming up. He must have known. Okay, the Overlord will scout the Hellions now. Now he knows what's up. He knows it's mech and he needs to switch tech.
Yeah, he might have also scouted the Hellions but there were only like 4 that went to clean up that one ling at the 3rd, so maybe he's like slowly getting a good idea of what's going on, and you're definitely right, he knows for sure now, so.
This is so sick. He's just going to leave Marines on the island. The Marines are not going to get him any value at this small count, but they will be able to deflect Mutalisk attacks. So sick, and also deny drops. And it looks like True is also going to try to take the islands, but a bit too late. That awkward moment when you try to take the island, you find out it's already taken. It's like when you try to sign up with your ID online, it's already taken, you're really upset. Same feeling. He's like, oh god. And now, this actually may tip TY off if he knows that was a drop overlord, that the other island is taken. And if he just drops to those Marines, nothing could stop him. He could just go deny that island right now if he only knew it was there.
Yeah, I think he should go check. I guess he just wants to play it safe for now. We do have a Baneling drop coming in here. There are 2 lings mixed in to do that extra bit of damage. And here we go, actually a big drop. He might want to go for that island and actually commit to doing a lot of damage here. Nice pull. He's going to be totally shut down. No damage, just a bit of lost mining time. Here comes the big drop coming in.
Saddest Baneling drop I've ever seen. But this one is going to be a bit much for the Marines to handle, especially with Mutalisk support here. And even Roaches. The turret's a bit late, also aggroing the wrong Overlord here. The Marines do attack right away, and if he target fires, he may be able to deal with this. Does lose all of the SCVs here.
And look at that, he's going to take the island. He even dropped that drone in there.
He's just going to steal it.
He's like, yeah, this is my island. Get out of here.
This is like some of the AI and Broodor would do. Like, just things only have expanded. Very cool drop there. And the thing is, TY just takes another base, though. And he's like, okay, well, you took the hardest base to hold away from me. So what? I have a large army. I've taken another base. Your army isn't mobile.
Yeah. The scary thing is going to be actually holding this off. And he's going to do it with Banelings and Lings. I mean, this is not a composition that you want right now as the Zerg. 24 Banelings against, 5 tanks in the bag.
Does he have any investors? I think 2 just maybe popped out, but not with this army. They're coming over now. The Hellbats do melt away very quickly, but not all of them. These Hellbats over here are finding some serious damage. The drone pull a little bit late, but because he decided to be greedy with his Hellbats, he didn't get any damage done. Only 2 drones going down. Finally, this base is under attack. I was talking about this earlier. The island bases for True have gotten him 0 value so far. As you see here, the base to the left just now finishing. The one on the right is completely shut down. Didn't even have any drones there, so I think he's really multitasking elsewhere, just trying to take the whole map in islands. Liberation zones here, well placed, and he's starting to push this creep bag. Ooh. The one thing he's really missing, I guess, is a Raven. If he adds a Raven, then he can do a lot here as well.
It'll be pretty nice. I guess it's quite expensive for now. Just using all that gas on units to make sure he can stay maxed out. We do have a nice little run by there. Looks like about 16 lings looking for some damage at another base here. We do have the 5th base now coming up for TY. And just slowly pushing. We saw a bunch of turrets coming in as well. This is not the best micro there from TY, just going to lose a couple of units.
Yeah, definitely missing out there. But all of that cleaned up creep as well. He's controlled this base. Base to the north is also very exposed. Hellbat's here a little bit late to the party, so he will get 1 siege tank, probably about 6 SCVs or so if he targets, maybe even more. Hellbat's actually still waddling in.
He's got adrenal glands, so he is ripping them apart. He burrows too.
He's going to have +3 for these lings very soon. The investors here, I'm really wondering how much damage he's going to find. Obviously, this army is well split, and it's not very, Fungal's not that good versus units with high hit points like this mech army. Okay, this is a good first Fungal here, but again, the splits are really good from TY. I almost feel like maybe Neural Parasite would perhaps be more useful here.
I like how you chuckle before that. You're like, yeah, they're you're like, we haven't seen that in years, but I don't know. It definitely could be. It's an interesting idea.
Did he get the advanced ballistics? I don't think so.
I don't think so, yeah.
I guess with this, liver account, it's not absolutely necessary, but it would be nice to see. You can see even with Blue Flame Hellions, Lings can beat that when you have this many upgrades on them. They're currently 3-2, so actually getting a pretty
adrenal
cost-efficient trade. Exactly, the adrenal glands, the attack speed, so powerful. But the Terran army is getting closer and closer here, and Drew is losing bases. If he doesn't stop this attack, he's going to lose another one. This base at the top is completely exposed as well. He could just run Hellions in there in Hellion mode, and it would find a lot of damage. 4 Thors at a time really tells the story of TY's economy. That production, he's got 3-3 on the way as well. He has 1,000 gas, True does, but like, he has to make the right hits. Now he's out of gas. He decided to make Ultralisk here, and there are like 17 tanks or something ridiculous on the map. So will Ultralisk be able to get the job done? It's a tough question. Also the Liberators that he has. I think he's probably got 12 or so of those. Okay, 12 tanks and 7 of those, and the Thors that are about to pop out.
You need some more support for those Liberators. For now, the Corruptors are going to push them back, but TY's done a nice bit of damage. He took out the third base, killed 34 drones. Definitely a nice number, but the scary part is when these 7 Ultralisks pop out, because Liberators are not in position. Everything here is going to get caught, actually, just by Lings.
Yeah, this is actually really bad for TY to lose these tanks like this. And also, Broodlord Tech will be available pretty soon as well. He has 8 Corruptors currently. These Hellions get cleaned up. And even though a lot of damage was done, I feel like, will TY be able to stop these Ultras? It's not going to be easy. He's getting drilling calls right now. He knows he needs to get a response to these Ultras ASAP, and he's going to choose Widowmines because they're cost efficient, they're mass producible. And the creep spread is also so poor because he cleared it so hard that these Ultras are always going to be off creep, so I do like that choice.
TY is mining double the gas of True right now, and True has a massive gas problem. He has a lot of minerals, and only now is he taking those gases. We can see him taking it here at this base, right as a Liberator flies in and Siege is up, so kind of not so great timing. I wish he would take it at the 4th base in the middle there as well.
Oh, he's just one-shotting so many drones here. 13 drones going down. Oh my god. 16, 17, 40 drones left. True just not dealing with that, not pulling. All it would have taken was a few drones off the mineral line on the edge of that patch there, and he just has no problem. The fact that he has a gas problem is not an issue related to his drones, it's an issue to him getting those extractors up. But once he puts all the drones in the extractors, he's going to start to have a mineral problem as well. You know, he's got such a low drone count. I mean, this is not an acceptable drone count to have on 7 bases, okay? Let's be real. We're going to drop now on top of these Ravagers and try to do some AoE damage, but as it turns out, Ravagers can beat those Hellbats. And more Liberators just denying mining here. The one Ultra is not going to deal with that.
TY's like, oh, you responded not at all, basically? You relied on that one Spore that just happened to be in a good spot?
The Spore is not in a good enough spot. It can't cover both sides, so really only the middle patch is safe. He needed to commit to one side or the other. Now he's making Spores here, but never was able to mine from this base. TY, he had to deal with these Ultras, right? But they never even attacked him. That was the scary moment. And now it's the game is basically over. True can't even make drones. He's not able to manage his economy here. And he's just getting basically outplayed in this late game. TY showing the better multitasking.
He essentially needs to take the fight or he's out of this one. And there are so many Widowmines with Drilling Claws now that can just instantly burrow and just rain damage on everything that the Zerg has. And Drew is not even maxed out. He's sitting at 167. Army supplies are similar because he has such a low drone count, which is something to note.
He also had a low queen count this entire game. He has 1 queen, so he has no larva to remake drones. He has the money to make drones, and he did a long time ago, but not the larva. And this game, I think, once this army gets towards his base, once he clears this army, he wins the game. I mean, 8 bases with 33 drones, that's not acceptable. I mean, it's not going to work. He somehow has to win this fight, but TY already knows that. He's going to pre-split. He has burrow speed for these Widowmines. And these Thors just doing a ton of damage to air units as well. Just a strong unit. And minimize the damage the Ultras can get. The Thors have such a huge footprint.
See if you can do a bit of damage here. Nice clearing, actually, on about 3 or 4 of those Widowmines. There's still so many left over, and this is one of the only bases where True is mining gas. He's not even mining gas at this point. All the drones have gone down.
He is down to 27 drones. Here comes the big burrow here. He cancels them to get more value. Rosa Miles come down too late. Huge Widowmine shots. A lot of siege tanks here. He does have a lot of these Ultras here up at the front, but it's not enough. Corruptors can't do damage to ground. And that is game over here in game number 1. Mech on New Gettysburg will win out. I know Avilo's happy.
Someone got Artosis in the stream. I know he likes to watch Mech too.
This is, I guess,
he's gonna end the game in style here. Use the Corruptor ability to try to do a bit of damage.
Hey,
here to this
maybe he gets a
planetary.
planetary. I don't know. I don't think so. Will we
No,
get it? No,
not quite.
not
And
quite.
that's
what was
gonna be
planned. There you go.
Sorry. Well,
All right,
GG. There you go.
TY takes the game with his own unique style there. And I am impressed. Drew did not have enough queens to obviously have good larva on all his bases, but when you have 8 bases, it's hard to have every base with larva. He committed a lot of resources to both islands, which neither of them got value. And then he had a larva problem and a gas problem. When he started losing drones, he couldn't replace the drones, he couldn't control his bases. It looked like he had a little bit of trouble dealing with TY's harass and just aggressive ground base mech pressure.
And you remember what you said at the beginning of the game. Perhaps the reason why TY is going for this kind of style, this super late game style, is because he knows he's the better player in late game. And True, to be honest, fell apart a little bit there. You know, 1 queen on that many bases? I mean, that's just not acceptable, especially when you're going ultras. Like, the queens, the transfusions are just so good with that many ultras, especially against mech. Like, the ultras are the front line they need to stay alive. If you don't have queens for larva injects, yes, but also for the transfusions later on when the fight happens, then, you know, you're just not going to do well. It seemed like just slowly over time, as you were saying, he lost 1 queen by 1 queen. He wasn't really focused on it, and at the end of it all, it just did not work out for him.
Yep, and you know, this is a player who's been in tough situations before in GSL, KeSPA groups. He's played in Pro League. I mean, this guy was actually, most people probably don't know this, but he's an ex-Jin Air player. This is a Jin Air Green Wings Pro, now moving into Storm Gaming and getting a visa playing overseas.
Yeah, very true. We'll see if he can do a little bit better here in game number 2 up against TY.